Good afternoon. I welcome you to True Wellness webinar series. Today our topic is one size does not fit all when it comes to true wellness. We're not all same. We are unique people. We read about in studies an average person needs this, or this to stay healthy and well. Well, I have never met an average person. We're all unique, and so are you. And so should be your wellness plan. You cannot just apply sweeping generalities and recommendations to yourself and expect to be truly well. And that's what, in fact, we see. If those formulas indeed worked, we would all be pretty healthy. But anyways, our discussion today is one size does not fit all. According to Ayurvedic medicine, we are unique. And what makes us unique is there are three energies within us. But before I get into that, let me just say, I know you might be saying, hey, Rakesh is talking about Ayurveda, which is 5,000 years old, and he's talking about it today. What merit does that have? Well, let me go not too far. Let's just go about 30 plus years ago. Dr. Dean Ornish, right here in the Bay Area, Dr. Dean Ornish came upon this information, perhaps by accident, as the patients came in to their office. They realized that there was a certain pattern among these patients. Some patients showed the sign of disease early in their life, and some other showed later in their life. And the ones that showed early in their life, they had specific behavior and physical characteristics associated with them. And the other group had also a specific behavior and characteristics associated with them. The first group, they called it type A. You might have heard of that study. In type A, people are more aggressive and their physique is sort of medium built, whereas at type B, people are more laid back and their physique tends to be large. So they found that there is a type A and type B, and then there was third kind of people who were rather small built and not very consistent. They were neither type A or type B, so they called them non-A, non-B. So we came upon A, B, non-A, non-B. So that was the study about 30 plus years ago. Let's go back 300 years. Germans did the study 300 years ago, and they found the same thing, that there are three different types of people. In their study, they named their three types of people, which sort of mapped onto, believe me or not, to these types. A was mesomorph, and B was endomorph, and non-A, non-B was ectomorph. So here again, there is a study that is showing that there are three different types of people that you can find, that they can sort of classify in these categories, that characteristics sort of mapped on with AB and non-AB. Well, let's go back 3,000 years ago. Chinese had a model in which they divided people in three categories. One category was yang. The other one was yin. And the third one was qi, the life force. And the characteristics of people who fell into these three categories, again, mapped closely with others that the other studies have found. Now let's go back 5,000 years ago. This is in India under Ayurvedic medical science at that time had people in three categories as well. One was called Pitta, the other one was called Kapha, and the third one was Vata. Type A, mesomorph, Yang, and Pitta, they share the same characteristics. And so forth for the other two. The point here is that the nature has revealed itself at different times of our life, similar things. So this is not some hodgepodge. There is some science behind it. And it has existed for all the time that we have existed. And this particular science revealed itself in Dr. Dean Ornish's study, in German study, in Chinese, and in India in Ayurveda. Now there is no collusion here that they all sort of text messaged each other that this is what we found and go ahead and do the same thing. So in different times we discovered this knowledge. My point really is that this is important stuff. Let's not ignore it. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they describe three energies that exist in each of us. In what proportion they exist determines the uniqueness of our personality, of our nature. And our nature, or our energies within us, they constantly are changing. Why do they change? Because you're bringing things from outside into the system, which is, let's say, is balanced, and anytime you put something else into the system, if it doesn't sit very well, it will throw this system off balance. So let's take a look at that. Now let's take a look at the knowledge that we just learned about Vata, Pitta, Kapha and different body types, non-A, non-B, A, B, and all that. How do we put that to work in terms of one size does not fit all? How does that connect us to that? A person, let's say I, is equal to some Vata, some Pitta, and some Kapha. So these three energies are pulsating in a person. And they are in different proportions. They're not always present 33%, 33%, 33%. And that's what makes you unique. If they were in that proportion, we'd all be robots. But they're not. And they are in different proportions. And that's what makes you unique. That's what makes your nature unique. Your appearance unique. Your mind unique. Your body-mind constitution is unique. So in this body-mind constitution, there is a balance. And that balance is whatever the energies are present at the time of your birth, those energies should stay the same throughout your life. So what changes those energies? Foods that you take in, drinks that you take in, thoughts and emotions that you take in, all of those things, they change the energies within you. And all of those things have their own Vata, Pitta, Kapha associated with them. So all foods, for example, that you take in have Vata, Pitta, Kapha associated with them. So for example, let's take a Kapha person. If a Kapha person was to consume foods that were rich in Kapha energy, the Kapha in that person will go up. It's a very simple science. This is not a rocket science. The Kapha in that person will go up. Now, if he does that for one day, it will make no difference. Because in your dynamic model of health, you can, if you're aware of it, you can balance it. The next day you take the opposite diet. You don't have to take the Kapha diet again. But you enjoyed the Kapha diet. But if this person's diet style is taking in Kapha-rich diet because he likes it, the Kapha continually goes up, and over the years the energy accumulates and becomes a cause of Kapha-related diseases. So this is why we say the one size does not fit all. So there could be some foods that are healthy foods, but they are rich in Kapha energy. That particular food is not good for this person to be consuming regularly. So the idea over here is to select suitable foods, favorable foods for your body constitution that are healthy for you. So all healthy foods are not suitable for you. But all suitable foods that you select for yourself are healthy for you. So this is where you bring this knowledge to work for you, where you define what, or design what should be your diet style, what should be your lifestyle. And that is why we say that one size does not fit all. These Vata, Pitta, Kapha energies are pulsating constantly in all of us. The seasons affect us. What is time of day affects us. All of these things in the nature that are coming into us are affecting our nature. And this is where Ayurvedic medical science makes it a lot more clear as to, after you figure out what your mind-body constitution is, you take a sheet of paper and put together all the suitable things that are right for you. My point over here is that Vata, Pitta, Kapha, these three energies are constantly pulsating in each one of us. Think about them as if they are musical notes, and the symphony is being played in us. And every one of us is playing a different symphony. And we need to keep that same musical notes constantly in balance with each other to produce the same music. And when we go off that balance or off those musical notes, we create a disease. And if we stay in there, in that balance, we keep ourselves well. Thank you very much for listening. Until we meet again, be well.